So Pakistan eventually bowled out for 366, and it was one of those scores where you just kind of thought that both teams were relatively happy with that. I mean, Pakistan got out to 366. I think the conditions were pretty flat for most of it. I thought England bowled well. Leach picked up 4 for 114 from his 38. Carson Potts 3 and 2. Bashir picked up the other one. I mean, again, it was just that both teams were going to be happy with that. I mean, England, they only had another kind of 100. It doesn't go up to the 450. Pakistan don't collapse for less than 300, which you could have seen happening at the start of the day. I just thought that both teams were going to be happy. And then when England get off to a 73 opening partnership, and then Ollie Pope and Ben Duckett add another 50, and then Joe Root and Duckett add nearly 100, you think, okay, 211 for 2. England are massively in the driver's seat. They're going to get a lead of 100, 150, and everything's going to be fine. But then the ball started to turn and turn big. I mean, it was literally like the last, I'd say 20 overs of the day. It was really difficult to bat out there. I mean, it really was. So England go from 211 for 2 to 225 for 6. Duckett went for 114, and his century today was absolutely sensational. It was top draw from him. Crawley made 27, which is a start. Again, it's not great. Pope made a start, played a relatively stupid shot, as did Zach Crawley. Joe Root was very, very unlucky. I mean, he was trying to kind of manoeuvre one to the leg side, which was something that he probably should have done. Bit of a slog sweep. And then just like all of a sudden, kind of it hit the bottom of his bat, didn't quite get up, hit his foot, rolled onto the stumps. It was a very, very unlucky wicket for Joe Root. Harry Brook playing a pretty stupid shot, bowled through the gate. Ben Stokes got one that jumped on him and he was caught at short leg. Ben Stokes has looked awful with the bat since the Ashes. Third test of the Ashes, probably, was the last time he looked good with the bat, I'd say. So that's over a year now. That's worrying. Jamie Smith and Bryden Cast just saw it out to the end. I mean, the last 10 overs, we went at a run rate of 1.5. We lost 15 for 3. We were 14 for 4 in that little spell between 211 for 2 and 225 for 6. So it's just not great. Sajid Khan for Pakistan today bowled incredibly. I mean, this is an incredibly makeshift bowling attack that Pakistan have put together. And if the ball didn't turn like it did for the last 20 overs of the day, Pakistan are looking at 300 for 2. I mean, they are staring down at some atrocious score that they're going to have to try and fight back to. It wouldn't have been pretty. I mean, Root just looks set for 100. Going back to a couple of things, but I just thought Sajid Khan just bowled incredibly with the turn that was on offer. He got 3, 4, and 5 all bowled, which is the second time that's ever happened that a spinner has got 3, 4, and 5 all out bowled. Never happened apart from one other time. I just thought Pakistan played really well at the end of the day. England pretty much dominated, kind of 70% of it. And then Pakistan just have a really, really good last kind of hour and a half, I want to say. Maybe not even an hour and a half, maybe an hour. It was literally from about, I mean, this was what it would have been local time, kind of 4:30 to until the end of play at 5:30. Pakistan were just really, really good. I thought at the start they were just a little bit too defensive. They weren't quite bowling the right lines, and then just everything clicked with them. It really did. I really want to praise Ben Duckett's century because I feel like it was something that he had kind of hanging over him and that he wasn't converting. He was getting out in the 80s a lot. And I mean, he's only scored 3 test match tons, well now 4, but he'd only scored 3 test match tons before this. And to average 42 in 27 tests, I want to say, and only having 3 centuries, it wasn't quite doing the maths. It's like Ollie Pope averages 40, but half of his scores are 200 and the other half, or no, it's not even that. He'll have 5 scores of 0 and then 1 really big 200 score, and it will kind of even out the average. That's what Ollie Pope does. I felt like Ben Duckett was just consistently getting us off to good starts. And it felt like every single innings, you'd look up and Ben Duckett was 50 from 45 and England were 78 for no loss, which is just kind of what happens. I mean, we were like 73 for no loss, 11 overs in. We were just flying, and that is what this opening batting partnership does. Now, it would be nice if Zach Crawley could have made a few more runs today and cashed in while it was easier to bat. Again, pretty stupid shot to get him out, but that's what you get with Zach Crawley. He's going to see something wide outside off stump, and sometimes he's going to nick off, whether it's to a spinner, whether it's to a quick. I mean, he wasn't always a low, slow deck with a load of spinners in it. Isn't Zach Crawley's kind of... It's not what he's good at. Zach Crawley's going to be good in Australia. He's going to be good in South Africa. Bouncier pitches, pace on the ball. That's what Zach Crawley does. Spinners, that's what Ben Duckett does. Okay, Duckett's also been on a great run of form with the quicks as well, but I thought he played sensationally today, Duckett. I mean, 52 of his first 100 runs came by sweeps, reverse sweeps, or scoops, which is the most there's ever been in a century before. But I mean, over half your runs coming in sweeps. I mean, it's just... He makes it look like a forward defence, but that's kind of all I can say was good. I don't want to give too much kind of stick. Maybe I do to Crawley and Pope. I felt like they probably should have done better. But Joe Root was unlucky. Brook played a bit of a stupid shot, but it was a big turning ball. I mean, I don't think he would have expected it to turn that much. Maybe you'd want to see him about a little bit sensibly just to get us through a bit of a tricky period, but it's not the way he plays, unfortunately. And Stokes got one that bounced. Stokes' form with the bat worries me, but Sajid Khan bowled incredibly. I mean, I think he was like 3 for 6 after 2 overs. He had like a double wicket maiden or something stupid in there. What England have got to do tomorrow is push up to, if they can, like 320. 80 runs seems like a long way away, but I don't know if the pitch won't be as lively maybe tomorrow morning first thing. Cast can bat. Potts is okay with the bat. He's probably he's a good number 9. Cast can bat, so I'm not too worried about this partnership. If Jamie Smith goes first, then I might start to worry a little bit. I do think that Jamie Smith is going to be key. If we can get up to at least 300, we might keep ourselves in the game. Pakistan have struggled with those third innings. England like a chase. I think if we're going to be chasing 250, okay, the pitch is going to be a mess, but I do think that England might be able to chase down 250. You get off to a good start. You get the openers get you to kind of 50 for no loss, and that's half the battle done. So very, very interesting morning tomorrow. If England can put on 80 runs for 1 wicket, then England are massively back in this game. If England are rolled for 260, then I mean, you could pretty much go home, Pakistan are going to win this. And it would be very funny if Pakistan win this after the amount of articles about how terrible Pakistan are and their stupid decisions to drop Shaheen, Barber and Naseem Shah. It's kind of going to be vindicated, and taking that risk with 3 spinners and 1 seamer, it's going to work. But there was another game that was going on today. I say going on, nothing happened. India versus New Zealand was rained off. I feel like every single game of cricket at the moment in India just gets rained off. And I don't get it. Like, why is there rain in India? When I think of India, I don't necessarily think of rain straight away. I think very hot. I think very humid. I don't think rain. But I mean, New Zealand have just been unlucky. They've had 6 days of Test cricket this year in India. Every single one of them has been rained off so far. Well, I mean, you say that it didn't rain for 4 out of the 5 days in their game against Afghanistan. The pitch was just so bad that you had blokes out there with desk fans trying to rebuild the pitch. It was a bit of an odd one. I still think there's enough time in the game. I don't know what the weather's looking like. If it's going to be any better. Bengaluru weather. I mean, hopefully it gets a bit better. It doesn't. The forecast looks awful. it looks like it's going to rain the whole time. So it looks like this one might be a draw. I think that's probably a bit of a bonus for New Zealand, because that's the only way they're going to get a result out of this. Maybe there's some play, maybe Saturday and Sunday. But it's just not looking good, is it? Guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I very much hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to leave a like. Please remember to subscribe. Remember to comment down below. Let us know who you think is going to win the England versus Pakistan test. And if we'll actually get any play in the India versus New Zealand test. Because I hope we do. I really hope we do. But I'll see you guys tomorrow for another update.